We've seen him pitch pretty well against us, including in spring training. He never gives in. He's got 3 different breaking balls, split finger, and he probably uses the off-speed more than he uses his fastball.
What's your level of concern with Matthew Boyd's recent inconsistency or inability?
Well, we've got to throw strikes. You got to get ahead of hitters. You got to throw strikes. And Major League hitters are going to make you pay if you don't, and they made him pay tonight.
What does that do to a team? Obviously, you got to dip into your bullpen early, but that doesn't just affect you tonight. It affects you the rest of the series. How much does that truly affect this team for the next couple of days?
Well, it does affect the bullpen for sure, because you got to use guys like Sopel and Verhagen extended, and they may or may not need rest tomorrow, which shortens the relief innings that you have down there in the next couple of days. And just to, you give up seven runs in the first 3 innings, it kind of saps the energy level a little bit in the dugout, because now you got to fight from behind, and they got a pretty good pitcher on the mound.
In the past, you've talked about Jimenez and wondering about whether his velocity or why it may be slightly down. It looked like it was back up today. What did you see from him that you liked?
It was a little better today. He threw strikes. He did a nice job, and he could have been going through a little bit of dead arm. We'll see. We'll see going forward how his velocity is, but he threw much better today.
Aaron Judge had gone 37 straight games with at least 1 strikeout. Today he gets 3 walks. He gets a base hit. He's a young guy, 25, going through a tough time. You know what that's like. How much respect do you have for a guy who's able to fight his way through and be able to handle something like this?
No, I mean, baseball will do this to everybody. Just when you think you're on top of the world, it'll remind you that it's not an easy game. And I'm sure he'll be fine. He's got a lot of talent, but there's not many players that go through their careers and don't have some type of struggle similar to that, or sometimes even worse.
I know you've voiced frustration before on your guys not being able to throw strikes, but do you look at just pitching, relief, starters, whatever, the bare minimum, what you got to do is you got to be able to throw strikes out there?
Yeah, there's no question you have to throw strikes. This is the big leagues. You got to throw strikes to get hitters out. You got to get ahead of hitters to get them out on a consistent basis. But like I said, especially coming out of that bullpen, we got Shane Green and Alex Wilson, who have more than 3 years of service. The rest of the guys down there have less than a year of service, or less of active service at the major league level. And oftentimes, young pitchers, the issue is throwing strikes. But they're going to have to learn.
Why is that? Is it a fear factor? Is it I don't want to make a mistake factor? Fear is probably the wrong word, but why do you think they have those type of issues?
Well, you get to the major leagues and you realize these guys are pretty good hitters, and you feel like you have to be perfect when you really don't. The pitcher still has the advantage on the mound. You have to attack the hitter. You do have to command the ball better. You can't just throw it down the middle to major league hitters, but if you command the ball towards the edges, not necessarily on the edges, you can get ahead and you can get outs. And I think at times, sometimes pitchers give hitters too much credit.
In a game like this, obviously, a blowout, I mean, you're not satisfied by any means, but I guess it's good that Castellanos gives the fans that stayed something memorable.
Yeah,
I forget that.
No, yeah, I mean, you don't see inside the park home runs very often, so it added to the entertainment. Rather win the game, but it added to the entertainment.
Do you think he was going to run out of gas there?
No, I wasn't worried about it. Once he gets going, he actually moves very well.